much for being with us on CNN Business Arabic. I'd like to start by asking you. So Operation Serengeti 2.0 this summer saw over 1,200 arrests, nearly $100 million recovered, and thousands of militia servers shut down across Africa. What was the hardest part in this operation? Was it taking down the online infrastructure, following the money, or getting all 18 countries simply act together?
I think, that's a loaded question because they all have their own difficulties, I think. But I think it's probably just getting the countries to come together and to coordinate this overall operation. I have an outstanding team, both based in Singapore with me. And then we also have officers actually in regional bureaus throughout Africa who are working hand in hand with law enforcement every day on the ground to build up that trust. But what we will do is we will bring in those countries who are going to participate in our operations. We try to bring everybody together in a coordination meeting. We'll also bring private partners in that are relevant to the operation and provide some training to those officers who are going to be conducting, and actually affecting the arrest and doing the investigations. And then we will go out the last 2 days. We'll just focus on the operation at hand. And hopefully when they leave, they have the tools in hand. They've improved their ability and capabilities to invest whichever type of cybercrime type that we're going to combat during this operation.
Speaking of operations, so Interpol's Operation Haishi this year recovered over $400 million and froze thousands of bank accounts and crypto wallets. But criminals now use blockchain, mixers, and DeFi platform. How much harder is it to follow the money nowadays?
Yeah, so Operation Haishi was obviously a very large success. So that one didn't fall under my directorate. That was under our financial fraud directorate. But to the point, yes, how do we go about combating illicit use of digital currency, stolen crypto? It's very, very complicated. Obviously, when you have these wallets and you have this pseudo anonymity, that's criminals are being able to move money back and forth, and then they use like mixers and exchanges and things like that, which obviously even makes it more complicated to identify. It is problematic, and so what we've tried to do is provide some training and tools to our member countries, because that is what they mostly ask for, are those two things. And what we really do, and what I feel, is that rising tide raises all boats. So we try to provide tooling across the board to those countries that need it. And not just that, I mean, the crypto space is very, very complex and wide. So what we will do is bring in the experts from various exchanges and bring them to meetings to have them discuss with our member countries exactly what they can do to assist law enforcement and what law enforcement needs to ask of them during the course of these investigations.
So Interpol coordinates data requests across borders, but privacy laws often slow this down. How do you balance between protecting people's privacy with giving investigators the data they need to quickly catch the cyber criminals?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So obviously within Interpol, we're concerned about data privacy as well. And data security is very, very important to us as far as ensuring that the law enforcement information that we're provided by member countries is secure and is not shared out to private partners. What we will do, though, is we will often get intelligence from private partners that we've vetted. And this is not necessarily personal information, but it's more information related to infrastructure that's hosting various malware or other types of cybercrime. And so that we are able to share with our member countries. We will vet them in-house at the Cyber Fusion Center there in Singapore, and we'll provide this information in cyber activity reports, we call them CARs, to the relevant countries to continue and to further turn into evidence.
From your seat, what's the fastest growing cybercrime threat for 2026? And are we ready for it?
Yeah, so are we ready for it? It's here. So whether or not we're ready for it, it doesn't really matter, I think. But I think it's no surprise whenever we ask any of our regions or countries what type of cybercrime they're most actively combating today, it's always online scams and phishing. And so what we're seeing is, obviously with the advent and increase of AI and improving the efficiency of phishing emails, that number in effectiveness will only grow. So it's on us as Interpol to explain to countries and to provide these campaign awareness programs, to be careful and to be cynical before they click. It's also important for us to look at populations that maybe and communities that maybe are more vulnerable than others. So recently we just did a cyber youth hygiene webinar for the Asia South Pacific region. I didn't know if anybody would attend. We had over 800 attend, where we could able to talk to them about being more responsible and careful with that. So that would be it. I think you're going to see AI improve the efficiency of these phishing emails and scams, such, with voicemail and text and phone calls aren't going away anytime soon.
Thank you so much, Neil, for being with us on CNN Business Arabic.
Yeah, thank you for the time.